Last time on this channel.
The vin chaud looks like. You can take pictures. I'm just heading to Paris today. Central Paris. We're gonna see the Louvre Museum. So my next destination was Notre Dame de Paris, which was most recently reopened to the public. If you're very well conversant with the news, you would know that in 2019, the Notre Dame caught fire, and so it's been closed ever since it's been under reconstruction.
One of the great symbols of Paris and all of Western civilization, it is still standing this morning after a fire that nearly destroyed it. Flames brought down the spire and much of the roof at Notre Dame Cathedral yesterday.
400 firefighters battled, but at times appeared dwarfed by the fire, which tore through the soaring structure.
Which is why a couple of years ago, I couldn't visit the Notre Dame. Instead, I had to visit the Sacred Heart, the Sacré-Cœur. So the Sacred Heart is pretty much similar to the Notre Dame, being a global church known for its Gothic structure. But unlike the Notre Dame, the Sacred Heart is centrally located up on the hill, which means climbing more steps. However, there's a transport system to take visitors and tourists up the hill, which is also accessible using your Navigo card, which I earlier mentioned in this video, which was what I eventually used in climbing the stairs and getting to the topmost floor.
Là, il y en a 12 heures.
So as you can see, there's lots of tourists, and up on the rails, couples and lovers go up there to lock padlocks, just as it's done in Naples, where couples lock their padlocks of love into the sea. Here at the pinnacle of this structure, you will get a very nice view of the city and what Paris looks like. So back to the Notre Dame de Paris. So this is Notre Dame de Paris. As you can see, there are lots of tourists waiting to get in, and this is because this experience is totally free. That is, you don't have to pay a dime. This again is why Paris is one of the most inexpensive cities in the world to visit. However, you can also decide to pay and get direct access without having to queue. But you know, now as a sharp Ninja guy, I had to stay on the queues. We're used to staying in long queues. That's no problem for us. And eventually it got to my turn and I got my way into the building, entered into the church, and yeah, there was a mass ongoing. And, you know, there was people loitered around. It was such a nice view, really. There were so much candles and people lighting candles. To be honest, I actually wanted to light a candle, but I didn't know what the significance of it was. So I didn't just want to do it because everybody was doing it. So please, if you're a Catholic or you know what the significance of lighting a candle is in a Catholic church, could you please drop in the comment section so I can, know better for my next journey or next trip whenever I'm faced with such cases or situation. But yeah, it was indeed nice to see. And yeah, there was a mass that was ongoing. Like I said, I could only but imagine if I was having a mass or a service and people were working around, I would be so distracted. So kudos to those people for, having their mass and still staying concentrated, because yeah, it would have been a different experience for me. But anyways, we just had to work through the building, just having a nice watch, sightseeing, watching the mass ongoing. But yeah, the Gothic structure was extremely beautiful. such a beautiful sight to behold. So yeah, you can see the imprints on the walls. You can see the beautiful pictures in the walls. And yeah, it was just beautiful architecture all around. And we just had to literally walk around and, you know, take this in, you know, just some wonderful architecture to soak in, really. As a visitor, you could also go there, you can pray, you can meditate. So it's kind of a very multi-purpose structure where you can do a lot of things. You can sightsee, you can meditate, you can pray, you can join in the mass even. You can take pictures, you can also buy souvenirs. So yeah, very beautiful experience. So yeah, you can get souvenirs, like I said. So people were getting like groceries and stuff. So yeah, that was really nice. And after spending a couple of minutes, I headed out. And yeah, it was such a nice structure. I had to zoom back in again and just, you know, take one last go at the building before leaving. This is the view from outside of the building. So beautiful. And just by the lakeside, close to the Notre Dame, there was a show. There was a skating show that was ongoing. Really nice to watch. They were just having their fun, doing their thing. I should get my skating boots on. However, I don't think I've seen my size just yet. So when I eventually see my size of a skating boots, then definitely I should get back to skating.
Yeah, they call me B to the A. Barry Yoga and the B, they know what they say. Yeah, let's go. Listen, when an African nigga ball stepping into Paris, every nigga asking who this? Man, shut the fuck up, man. It's a Yankees. All these niggas call me boss like the band is. I don't even understand me. Driving in my Yaris. Whoa.
In my Toyota Yaris.
Next was the Galeries Lafayette, which is one of the biggest malls in Paris, known for housing most of the biggest brands. Now, here's the tricky part. There are a lot of Galeries Lafayette scattered all over Paris. So you want to actually go to the biggest one, which houses most of the brands, the Coco Chanel, the Prada, the Gucci, and most of the brands that you could think of. But it reminded me so much of the bigger Galeries Lafayette that I visited a couple years ago. So as I previously mentioned, this one is way bigger. You can see it from the structure, and it houses most of the brands. So the Coco Chanel, the Sisley, the Yves Saint Laurent. Mention it. You mention it. On est à la Galeries Lafayette. They have a luxury stores. And it has this very epic entrance of a toaster with a bread. But that's not a bread to eat. That's a jacquemus on the bread. But yeah, definitely that's not a bread to eat.
Bonjour, monsieur. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Ouais, bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ça va?
Ça va très bien. Où es-tu?
Bon, on est dans les Galeries Lafayette où nous avons des vendeurs de luxe, des produits de luxe comme des parfums, des vêtements, des sacs à main et des lunettes et d'autres choses. Ici, bon, c'est une bonne structure, donc c'est bon de l'air, moi.
Tu veux acheter...
Oui, bien sûr, j'aimerais acheter des parfums, mais bon, même si c'est trop cher, mais bon, je peux essayer de voir si je peux trouver un ou deux que je peux acheter. Ouais, merci.
Merci.
And so, yeah, it was time for some fashion buzz. You know what time it is. You know, I love fashion, definitely. So, yeah, where we got the luxury brands and whatnot. So, definitely want to show my style and my steez, you know. Show them steez and the composure, very demure, very, you know. So, join me as I explore what the Galeries Lafayette looks like indoors and inside. So the Galeries Lafayette also has a rooftop from where you can see the whole of Paris. Such a beautiful view as well. They've got the Paris symbol where you can take photos. Again, good vantage points to view, you know, what the city looks like, either day or night. And yeah, such a beautiful view. Yeah, again. So yeah, back to the present day Galeries Lafayette. I eventually did some shopping and yeah, it was time to head to my next destination, which was a very exciting one. You wouldn't come to Paris without having to want to see the Eiffel Tower. So yeah, I was headed for the Eiffel Tower.
Next and final episode of this limited series.
Yo, Versailles.
Make sure you go tag my school,
Wait,
though.
Paris, yeah, I'll tag you what?
My school.
Your school, oh, just tell them, so they were in the University of what, Tech? UPEC.
Université Paris Secrétaire, University of Paris East.
Hey, wow. For my subscribers, I don't even understand that, but it's okay, somehow. See my son's behind there, happy and smiling. See that? That's that.